Begin. Victinium notably has been a prevalent Madolche user for the longest time, but then has dropped the deck for Snake Eyes and is now back on a Madolche as we have a back and forth, a Stellar attempting to summon from the deck as we try to max C it, but then it gets Ash Blossom negated, thus we have no more hand traps in sight. What the heck was that? A Stellar special summons a Maiden of White from the deck? This is special summon a light spellcaster tuner from your deck. There you go. You're right off into the Blue Eyes engine. Wait a second. And a Stellar goes into Spirit with Eyes of Blue? I mean, I knew all this. What the? Spirit, Link 1 searching for the Mausoleum, which could send a Blue Eyes White Dragon from the deck to the grave. A Stellar's full combo. Now, the Spirit Dragon destroys both monsters that would be summoned from the extra deck during the end phase, but we're protecting it with the Divine Cipher, and Divine Cipher was summoned through the Crimson Dragon. Very nicely done. What's worth noting is Imperm onto the Ultimate Spirit will actually negate it without us having our Fusion Engraved. Did we forget to put the Fusion Engraved? The answer is, I think so, right? We summoned a Blue Eyes from the deck, or we're just holding on to it. We're not playing it. Whose extra deck am I looking at here? What is this? This is a Fiendsmith Blue Eyes White Forest. We don't even play the Ultimate Neos Dragon. Well, Dark Ruler, no more. Negate the field. We're going to chain True Light to the Dark Ruler no more, and we're going to chain a Maxi to our True Light to Reborn from our grave. Now, whatever we reborn will get negated by Dark Ruler, but it's a Blue Eyes White Dragon, so it can't be negated. Negate the entire field, mate. The field is no longer protected. We no longer have a negate anything, nor do we have the negate a monster effect. We have engaged, searching our deck for a Hornet Drones. With our Hornet Drones, we're going to be summoning a token onto the field here. We are under Max C. Victinium, are you good? What's going on? I guess we have to make big plays. Now, you would think we have to try to push for lethal, right? It's impossible. Dark Ruler No More states that we deal no damage for the rest of the turn. So we have to put up an unstoppable board. We could Little Knight banish what? Banishing the True Light does not trigger its effect to destroy the entire field. It has to be sent to the grave. Had the Little Knight been a Phoenix instead, it could have wiped out the opposing fields. We're going to Little Knight into a Typhon main phase 2. Get ready to spin back a body in the field. Nope, we have Valor to negate. Ain't no way. Typhon's actually really good against Blue Eyes, as the Blue Eyes monsters from the extra deck that's not the regular Spirit Dragon are all 3,000 or more. Victinium, valiant effort, my friend. Let's hop into game 2 where hopefully you do not get max seed again. 2 change of hearts. Holy moly. A Stellar plus the Mausoleum we're going to send from the deck to the grave. A Blue Eyes White Dragon, then send our Call by the Grave to summon from the deck our Maiden of White. We now can negate anything that activates in the field and negate a monster effect. And we have Valor. We have about triple disruption. Now, Change of Heart can be negated once, but not twice. Uh-oh. We're going to engage with our deck, searching for a Widow Anchor mate. Since we're not playing the Neo Ultimate Blue Eyes to make us untargetable, we are susceptible to being targeted, but we're going to target the Cipher Dragon instead anyway, as we're going to chain Max C to that Widow Anchor. We can't Call by the Grave the Max C because of the Ultimate Spirit, so it's a dead card. Change of Heart attempting to take control of the Ultimate Spirit Dragon. Negate the Change of Heart. Now let's follow up. Change its heart again. Ruling time. What's the ruling on Ultimate Spirit Dragon? If you take control of it after it has already negated, can it negate again the same card? Well, let's read that. Your opponent cannot banish. You can only use each of the following effects of the Ultimate Spirit Dragon once per turn. So if control of the card changes, you specifies Earl GB and Victinium can only use the effects once. So we can in fact negate anything that activates on the field. Not from the hand, we cannot negate that effect, Valor. Now, can we negate the True Light activating? That's important to note. When a card or effect is activated in the field, we can in fact negate the True Light, but it does not destroy the True Light, which is not so good here. We're going to Madolche, Petting Sore, some from the hand. Bro, we're under max frequency again. This is ridiculous. Valor onto the Petting Sore. Now, because we now control the Ultimate Spirit Dragon, we can finger that effect Valor, where otherwise, while they control the Ultimate Spirit Dragon, we could have not done so. So that's even more important on the Change of Heart, taking control of that Ultimate Spirit Dragon. Finger the Fool, negate. And where do we go from here? Do we have a big lethal play? As we have to unfortunately summon the Pudding Sis from our hand instead of from the deck. We go into the Madolche Glass, all under the max frequency. Glass is going to detach. We are going to be activating True Light, and we're going to use the Ultimate Spear Dragon to negate the True Light. Now, the Glass has the effect, which states if a Madolche card sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle up to 2 cards from either graveyard back in the deck. We're going to shuffle the Roar and the Maiden back into the deck. Why would we want to recycle the Roar? Okay. We're going to Chocolate, being able to activate to summon from the deck. We're going to Ash Blossom, negate the ability to summon from the deck, and I think we're done. Uh-oh. This is not a good situation for Madolche. We temporarily have control of that Ultimate Spirit Dragon. Yep, it's back to them. Yep, damn. I can't fault Fictinium for hopping into tournament something spicy. This is definitely spicy. Thank you for bringing the spice today. Unfortunately, it did not work out against Blue Eyes White Forest. Thank you very much, Fictinium, and thank you, Earl GB. Let's keep on going. We're going to start this off with a Deception of Sinful Spoil, tributing off a monster to search our deck for the Hollowed Azamina. We have no hand traps except a Fool Loss, which are now about to pop off right here, right now, likely changing the course of our turn 1 play. Amblow Whale Flame Burst is activating to push the Fool Loss into the back row, further turning off Impermanence. If you draw into Imperm, it will now not be activatable. We do have Valor, but Apollo USA will be able to negate. This is our attempt to bait the Apollo. If the Apollo negates the Serenir, we could then chain the Effect Valor here, where otherwise we want to save the Apollo for the Effect Valor. And a deadly play would have been to use Valor, then the Apollo tries to negate, then they chain Impermanence, which they now cannot do. We are chaining the Valor as we did not take the bait, so we are forced to negate the Valor. What else could we possibly draw into that could save us from this first turn kill play? Is this the end for Virus? We're going to use Volcanic Emperor, burning for 500 damage. Now, it's a first turn kill that happens in the draw phase of your opponent's turn. Are you ready? Volcanic Emission, burn for 1550. Wait, huh? We're off! We're off from lethal! Tribute of Fire, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's original attack. Tribute to deal 3,100 damage. Their life points, 3,250. 150 damage off from lethal. What went wrong? How are we missing 150 damage? I don't play this deck, so I don't know. What happened? Kurnai, Tribute, 3,100. Not enough. 150. Okay. Oh boy, this is all going to be within the battle phase here, as we use the Sylvia to negate the Sum of the Druistorm, as we then follow up with a quick launch within that battle phase to come forth and summon from the deck our Rocket Tracer. Rocket Tracer is here, but again, this is it within the battle phase, so the bigger plays will be happening within main phase 2. We're going to trigger the Promethean Princess Engrave, pop away that Rocket Tracer, reborning herself back onto the field, as we now send the Serenir to summon our Lubellion here. What kind of massive play can we make within main phase 2? Knowing that we're at 150 life, that means a Lacrima being resummoned and being sent to the grave will trigger to burn for that final lethal damage. Let's go into the Striker Dragon, Black Metal Dragon, searching for the Red Eyes Darkness Metal, plus the Boot Sector launch of the Striker Dragon, using Boot Sector to reborn the Rocket Tracer from Engrave, banishing Striker for the Red Eyes Darkness Metal, using Regain to return it back to then draw. We're now going to be making a Dispater. We're going to use the Druistorm to send the Promethean on field to the grave, make a Heretic Seal to spin a card in the field back to the deck during the next turn, as we now make a Guard Dragon Pisty. Collapse Serpent searching for the Wyvern Burster, banished from a grave to come forth and summon, going into a Striker Dragon. Now we're going to use the Wyvern Burster searching for a Collapse Serpent, being sent to the grave. Maiden of White's going to set up a True Light into the back row. Pisty is going to be what? It's main phase 2, man. You don't think you could have Lacrima burned them? We're to set up with the Deception Sinful first. Tribute off Fool, Lost Search our deck for the Hallowed Azamina. Hallowed Azamina is going to send Deception and come forth and summon our Rasalago. That's not a first turn kill. I'm confused. I thought we FTK. So what we have instead is a triple monster negate Apollo, negate anything Sylvia, and how do we trigger Promethean Princess? Promethean needs a fire monster on the field, and I don't see how we get a fire monster on the field. Okay, 4 disruption. Wishes for Aza Blue right away with that Ash Blossom check, searching for a Sage plus a Roar the Blue-Eyed Dragon. We're going to be using the Black Meteor Dragon, send a Blue-Eyed Dragon, and activate to summon itself from the hand as the Apollo negates, now down to triple disruption left. Sage on summon, activating to search our deck for a level 1 tuner, which would be the Maiden to help us get popping off. Unfortunately, negated. 2 more disruption left. As we now go into the Spirit with Eyes of Blue on summon, is not going to be searching for anything since we already have the Mausoleum, but we're going to tribute off the summon of Blue-Eyed Dragon, which the Apollo did not negate. Now we have the Mausoleum. We're going to use the Wishes to equip onto the Blue Eyes an Ultimate Spirit Dragon to boost up its attack. Linkuriboh, reduce it to 0 attack. Linkuriboh and Apollo are both at 0 in the TCG. They're both banned, double banned. Now, our forms of disruption for Virus is the Majesty of the White Dragons, which will non-target pop a card in the field, but the Sylvia will very simply negate. Okay. Ash Blossom off the top of the deck, flipping back up our Deception Sinful, normal summoning our Volcanic Rim Fire. Relinquish Animas here, getting Rim Fire into the grave to banish, to send from the deck the Volcanic Emperor. We're going to be linking away our Negate Sylvia. What we had, which was pinning down the Majesty, is no longer on the field. So we're going to take out the Moon of the Closed Heaven, as that's going to trigger the Amble Whale to now pop a card on the field, taking out that Blue-Eyed White Dragon. Hallowed Azamina is going to return Sylvia Engrave back into the extra deck, activate Hallowed Azamina to resummon that Sylvia back onto the field. 6,800 life points. We're going to be reborning our Volcanic Emperor from Engrave, burning for 2,000 damage, and just like that, lethal damage. Despite not having the first turn kill, we still win it because Apollo is balanced and very healthy for the game. Let's hop into game 3. Normal Veiler. That is a big cope, as we're going to be summoning our Spirit Link 1, searching for the Mausoleum. What do we have here? As the Brain of Beast is going to recycle our Engrave Regained onto the field. Whoa, we're in big trouble. The Dissipator can destroy a monster in response to it activating. It can't negate at the moment, but possibly will be able to. The Spirit Dragon can go into an Ultimate Dragon, which could then negate anything that activates on the field. And then we have the Borreload Savage Dragon, which can negate anything. We have the Heretic Seal, which could spin any face-up card back in the deck. We have Branded Beast, which could pop any card in the field within the main phase only. We have Borland Dragon, which can negate any monster on the field. And it is going to be pretty much unstoppable, as it cannot be destroyed by battle nor card effects, and cannot be targeted except by spell and trap cards, that is. So Imperm could actually stop it. We also have Majesty, non-target pop a card in the field. This is about 7 forms of disruption. And what's it going to go to if we activate a Dark Ruler No More? Dark Ruler No More. Negate the field. Holy moly. So from 7, we go down to, we lose Dissipator, we lose Spirit, we lose Heretic Seal, we lose Borreload, we lose the Borland, We have Branded Beast and the Majesty only. Double disruption. Full field negate mate. Beansmith tracked. Now, we could have actually possibly stopped this. So what would be a way to stop this play? If the Dark Ruler were to ever become popular, you could potentially try to set up a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. Is that what it's called? We have Madolche on the search here. Hot Red Dragon, this one. There we go. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend of the Abyss. Spirit Dragon and a Crimson Dragon. So Crimson Dragon will target the Spirit Dragon to summon the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. And what it will do to, after summoning this, it's going to be able to negate the Dark Ruler no more as long as you chain a non-monster effect to it. So you could chain your Branded Beast, you could chain your Majesty, and then you would chain the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend to your own card, targeting the Dark Ruler, negating it. Some people are playing this comboed up with Trushilla. Let's see what's good. We're gonna grab from the deck to then discard our Lurie. Reborn Lurie, as we now use our one of two forms of disruption. Now, I say we have 2 disruption, which we now have 1, but we actually had a total of 3 by doing this play specifically, using the Branded Beast to tribute off Dissipator so that the Regained can reborn the no longer negated Dissipator back in the field to then get ready to negate or destroy a monster in response to it activating. We're gonna chain Regained, as I said. Dissipator, dodging the negate, around it mate. And then we have another form of disruption with the Baldrake. Not only its banish, but its secondary banish effect. If you summon from the extra deck, the Baldrake will banish whatever you summon. This is a problem for King. Despite using the Dark Ruler no more, we're going to Original Sinful, send Diablo Star to come forth and summon for the deck. Blast Spirit Dragon's just jumping off the field. It's trolling. It's out of here. Goodbye. Okay, you're negated. As we summon for the deck here, our Snake Eye Ash. Ash on summon is going to get negated. Not destroyed. Negate the Snake Eye Ash. So after this negate with Dissipator, by recycling it with the Regain, we still have Baldrake to banish a monster summon for the extra deck, and we still have Majesty to pop a card on the field. Despite wiping away, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forms of disruption on the field with the Dark Ruler and more, we still could not play through a turn 1 play? That's insane. Begin. Low is here, setting up into the back row our Barrier of the Voiceless Voice. We're now going to use Saphira to send from the deck our Ritual Spell, grabbing the Skull Guardian. Saphira is now going to Ritual Summon using the Low on field to come forth and make our Skull Guardian, which will be an Omni Negate. Low is going to reborn herself back in the field as the Skull Guardian searches our deck. Let's speed this up so we could talk about all the disruptions we'll have. Got Low from the deck being searched for, now making a Dynamundo. The main reason to make a Dynamundo is so that you could trigger the Low again during the opponent's turn to set up the trap for an additional form of disruption, but then you lose to a Call by the Grave. This play is a lot safer in the TCG, where Call by the Grave is only at 1 and not used as much as it is in Macedol, where it's also at 2 and played more. So we're taking that risk. And with that, we do have a Veiler double monster negate an interaction with the deck with the Ash Blossom, negate a monster effect on the field with the Impermanence, and then we have the Skull Guardian negate anything once it's back on the field, and then we're gonna have the Trap, which could pop a card in the field. This is 6 disruptions. Are you ready? Let's go. If we draw into a Called By, then it will be 4 disruptions instead. No Called By, no Lucky. I would think maybe you see your opponent's playing a 60-card deck, and then you are more likely to want to go into this play that loses to a Call by the Grave. Low being reborn after we summon our Skull Guardian, setting up the Trap, which will be able to pop a card in the field. Lubellion searching for our Magna Huts. As we now use the Trap to, instead of pop a card on the field, we're going to be summoning the Sarvis, which can negate a summon. But first, the opponent has to activate something. Then we could summon the Ritual that negates the summon, which will be now. Chain it, summon Sarvis, and only an inherent summon will we be able to negate. Quick Launch could be negated by the Ash Blossom. I would say that is a good negate. Negate. 5 disruptions left. I would say generally any card that's summoning a monster from the deck onto the field is worth negating with Ash. we are going to be grabbing our Red Eyes Darkness Medal here. And with the Red Eyes Darkness Medal on summon, not on summon, but in an open game state, activating to summon a dragon from the hand or engrave, Valor will negate. Now, what else do we have here? We're going to send to summon Lubellion, which I don't think the animation happens if you negate the summon, right? Is that how the in-game works? You still see the animation even though the summon is not legal. Negate. And the Magna Hut will change the negate as the Magna Hut now gets negated by the Skull Guardian. And now we're down to Imperm and Valor being our only other forms of disruption. Let's resolve this. Negate and banish. With double disrupts left, we scooping it up. I think the game bugged out. You crashed the game with that play. The game cannot compute. I don't think I can go to the menu. I can't leave now. What? You broke the game. Oh, nope, I'm stuck. Oh, we're good, we're good. All right, let's keep on going. Black Metal Dragon, link off into the Striker Dragon. The opponent has no disruption whatsoever, so let's speed up the in-game plays. What is up with this? This is quite disruptive. Now, first of all, the big question is, can you out this card? Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and neither player could target this with monster effects. So right away, you want to look at your hand and hope that you have an impermanence, because if you don't have imperm, you pretty much have no way to stop this, I would think, in most cases. And in addition to it being nearly unstoppable, it can negate a monster on the field, and you cannot chain to its negate. It goes through everything. That's insane. And then we have an Omni Negate, and then we have Negate or Destroy a Monster with Dissipator. We have Little Knight Chain Banish. We have Ash Blossom Negate interaction with the deck. We have Call to the Grave Finger the Low. I'm going to count that as a disruption here. And then Regain can reborn the Baldrake, and then Baldrake could banish a monster summoned from the extra deck. We're talking 7 disruptions here. 8 if you count the Jerusalem Banish as a form of disruption, so 7 to 8. Oh boy, Shinobi, good luck. We're gonna start this off with our barrier. We're gonna call by the Great Finger the Saphira, so we could save the Jerusalem to instead banish the low. So while we go down to 6 disruption, I'll just add the Jerusalem back onto our forms of disruption, putting us back to 7. So we had 8 down to 7. We have Ash Blossom negating the pre-preparation of rites. So I said that it's good to generally negate a card that summons a monster from the deck. I'm going to further say that with your Ash Blossom, it's also generally good to negate a card that's a +1. If one card searches one card, is that a +1? No. This is one card that searches 2 cards, so negate that +1. Nicely done. So we're at 6 forms of disrupt here. Barrier searching for the Skull Guardian, triggering the Regain to summon the Baldrake, ready to banish a monster summon for the extra deck, as we're going to use the Borland Dragon to negate the low. Now, negating the low is so much more than negating her ability to set up a continuous card into the back row. It also negates her very important effect of you could use exactly 1 low for any ritual summon. That effect is no good now. You cannot use her for a single full... Oh, we're going into the Typhon. Plan D. Scoop, banish away the Typhon. We can't summon for the rest of the turn. Regain is going to even nice enough to return your Typhon back to your extra deck where it belongs. And let's just end this duel. Okay. 14,000 damage wasn't enough. 17,000 damage wasn't enough. Bro, Virus, what do you... Okay, 18,000 damage. Oh, this was worth it. White Lightning. Wow. Good, good. That was worth it. You almost got DQ'd for BMing. Okay. Is the biz still going to be good enough? We're going to be searching for our 2 cards here. Ritual Spell plus our Ritual Monster. Wow. Huh. That's... How do we summon the Skull Guardian? Well, you need 7 levels to offer us tribute for a ritual, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a problem. Okay, damn. I can't believe you bricked that hard. That's insane. It's generally a really consistent deck. We'd still have, even though we bricked for our first turn, we have triple disruption through the Imperm, Ash, and Valor. Striker grabbing a Boot Sector Launch. Black Metal grabbing the Red Eyes Darkness Metal. We're going to banish away the Striker, activate Darkness Metal, reborn the engraved Black Metal. Going into our Spirit with Eyes of Blue. We're going to Chain Link block from the Ash Blossom, but you can't stop the Veiler Negate. No search for Mausoleum, nor giving you a way to get Blue Eyes White Dragon from the deck into the grave to then reborn it. You gotta think of the Spirit as essentially turning your Spellcaster or Dragon into a normal summon Blue Eyes White Dragon from the hand, but a more convoluted way of doing that. We have the Ash Blossom negating a Chaos Space Search. Negate. So here's another rule I would generally give you. There's a lot of rules with Ash, not really rules, but I think some good guidance. So using Ash, number one, not in this order though, summoning from the deck is a good negate. A +1 is a good negate. And if the opponent -1s on the activation, I would say that's also generally a good negate. By discarding a card, they minused off of this, so I would say that's pretty good. Hieratic Seal, Banish from the Grave, come forth, Wyver Burster. In most cases, not all, it's pretty bad to negate with Ash a 1-for-1 play, a 1-for-1 search. You want to try to get that plus. Going into our Dissipator here, as we're going to reborn a banished monster back in the field, make a baby with the Pisty, as the Imperm negates that Pisty mate. Not today. Now, what else do we have here? As we're going to summon a Collapsed Servant, banishing from Engrave to come forth, make a Romulus. Romulus searching for our Dragon Ravine. Collapsed Serpent's going to Chain Link block and nothing. Shinobi is all out of disruptions. We are completely dry at 5,700 damage. Can we turn this into lethal? Let's speed this up. Yeah, we don't have to speed this up. We out. Just like that. Good job to both of you.